you guys remember this movie? Watch this.
That's right, Jackson. It's on the other side of the known universe.
We're losing the signal.
This is the information the probe sent back to us. Freeze and enhance. You can clearly see the gate on the other side. Both gates must have functioned as a doorway between our worlds.
These readings tell us it's an atmospheric match. Barometric pressure, temperature, and most importantly, oxygen.
So, the Gulf War started in 1990. This movie was made in 1994. I talked to my friend, he could be making this up. I don't think he is. I had to ask. People kept asking me, ask him this. They're telling me to ask questions. Ask him this question. Ask him that question. How does he travel? If he's a time traveler, how does he travel? I asked him the question. He said he travels through a Stargate. Isn't that interesting? So I'd asked him, please indulge me with this Stargate. Now, either he knows things, he studies, I don't know. But the Book of Enoch talks about 12 portals. There's 3 on the east, 3 on the west, 3 on the north, and 3 on the south. Seriously, it's in the Book of Enoch. It talks about 12 portals. It does. It's in there. Get the Book of Enoch, read it. The Gulf War started in 1990. And they say in the community, in the UFO, in the community, paranormal community, that they were looking for a Stargate. All of a sudden, 1994, this movie comes out. Stargate. And I was fascinated by this movie. I don't know why, but I was drawn to it, and I watched it over and over and over again. I bought the movie. I bought several copies of them. I wore it out. I never heard of this story. I never heard of this. They were looking for a Stargate. I didn't hear about this until the last couple of years, that they had been looking for a Stargate. I never heard nothing about this, even with my ex being in the Gulf War, them looking for the Stargate. So all this is something I never heard about until now. I guess a couple years. But I was still drawn to this movie. So it's really weird. But then I find out about the situation with Close Encounters of the Third Kind movie. That, this is, you guys, this is so crazy, that the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind is based on a true story. That there was real footage, 600 feet footage, real footage of a UFO landing at Holloman Air Force Base, that they were going to give, Pentagon was going to give to a documentary. A guy was making a documentary. I got the names and stuff. It's actually all documented. This is actual truth. So those of you who are saying, give me proof, you find it. Google it yourself. It's on some documentaries. I'm not giving you all that information because that's too much information to put on here. The guy was promised, it was for Nixon's campaign, and they were going to give him this footage to do a documentary and do some stuff about UFOs and all this stuff, but they withdrew it at the last minute because of Watergate. They had actual footage of UFO landing at Holloman Air Force Base, but they withdrew it because of the negative stuff going on with Nixon and Watergate. So instead, miraculously, and I know what they did, they sold it to the highest bidder, which is Steven Spielberg, and then a couple years later, Close Encounters of the Third Kind come out. Okay? And that's what they do. That's what Hollywood does. They sell this information. They got information. They got proof. They've got real life information on UFOs and all this stuff. So they just sell it to the highest bidder, and they make a movie of it and make us try to gaslight us, make us look like idiots, and pawn it off as it's science fiction and it's just a story. It's just a movie. Okay? And all of a sudden, this Close Encounters comes out. That wasn't a movie. That was facts. That actually happened. It's true. It actually happened. The third Close Encounters of the Third Kind actually happened. It landed. They said, it specifically says the scientists have come out and people said that what you see in Close Encounters of the Third Kind actually happened. It's almost exactly what happened at Holloman Air Force Base, what you see in that movie. And if I have to get you the episode on Agent Aliens where they all talk about, scientists get together and tell you they go, yeah, this is exactly what happened. They just basically gaslight us and tell us they're lying to us about everything. Okay, I talked to my friend. Now fast forward years and years later from the 1970s. Now it's the 1990s. They find the Stargate. A couple years later, Stargate movie comes out. They sold it to the highest bidder. What really happened? Okay, what went down? And now we got the movie. Same situation. He said, same situation. They have the Stargate, multiple ones, and they're traveling all over the place. And then all of a sudden here we come out with, we've got actual space galaxy. I don't know the names of these people, but we've actually got a Star Trek kind of, confederation. We've got a confederation out there. We've got stuff going on out there that we don't even know about. It's just ridiculous. Like, there are things going on out in our atmosphere and our space that we have no idea about, that they're hiding from us. And it's been going on since the 90s. Because they found a way to do all this. Just think about it. Since the 90s, they've been able to, they found what what they're looking for. They found the Stargate, and and look how fast everything's progressed from then till now. We've got all this other crazy stuff going on. UFOs, and they've released all this information. They're slowly releasing things and everything. So Stargate, the movie, is not just a movie, you guys. And if you watch that movie, you see that we were taken from it. It almost basically talks about how humans were seeded from another planet. They're telling the truth. They're telling about where we came from. We came from another planet. We weren't just, it's like that movie is just touching on just a little bit more about our existence and what's really going on and what they're doing and what it's. You got to watch the movies if you really want to know what's going on. Watch the movies. So here we are. Just another bit of information about the air time traveling through Stargates. And there's 12 of them. And that's how the UFOs and stuff are. You see them coming in and out of areas in the water and mountains and all kinds of stuff. They're all over the place. 12 of them. And it's in the book of Enoch. So that's why they took the book out. That's why they took a book out of the Bible, because they don't want us to know. They don't want us to know. So those of you who swear up and down the book of Enoch's evil, no, the book of Enoch is not evil. It's the people that they don't want us to know who, what, when, and what's really going on and who we are. It's all